point, Roman ships prepared to leave the Red Sea and make contact with markets in Somalia. Beyond the flat and barren Somalian coastal plains, there were arid mountains and a large inland plateau, on which a variety of exotic aromatic trees grew wild. The trading stations in this distant land were known by the Romans as the Far Side ports, and were more traditionally uncivilized than those regions closer to the empire. There were no cities or indigenous kingdoms in this part of Africa, and the natives instead lived in small self-governing tribal communities. Each of the coastal trade stations here were not ruled by an overarching king, but were each ruled by its own chief, or tyrannida. Each of these far side markets was known to have its own distinct character. Some were considered unruly and rowdy, while others generally had a peaceful reputation. Whatever their behaviour, Roman traders generally referred to these Africans as barbaroi, or barbarians. These longer-distance trading expeditions now began to require larger and more specialized ships, which would travel specifically to the far side markets to acquire their unique incense products, whereas some other vessels merely sailed along the coast, taking advantage of opportunities where they came. The first of the far side markets reached by Roman ships was the small port town of Avalates, which stood on the narrow choke point-like entrance to the Red Sea and possessed one of the populations known to be unruly. Rafts and small craft from other parts of the African east coast and Arabia would routinely come to this settlement along with the Romans. In return for low-value goods such as colourful glass baubles, Egyptian olives, Roman clothing, grain and tin, local traders provided small amounts of ivory, turtle shell, and an extremely high-quality myrrh, which was valued at 16 denarii per pound of weight, more than a labourer earned in 2 weeks. Sailing further, the first Somali port on the Horn of Africa was Malawi, a settlement which offered plentiful myrrh supplies and an extremely valuable product known as cassia, a type of cinnamon, which was sold for 50 denarii per pound. In return